All right, now let's shift over to my review of Axiom Verge 2. My Nintendo Switch has been getting quite warm as I've been spending many hours in Axiom Verge 2 from Thomas Happ, and I have really been impressed with the myth building and the story building. This is a game that kind of takes place concurrently with the events that unfolded in Axiom Verge 1, so you don't really have to play Axiom Verge 1 to get the most out of Axiom Verge 2. I will say, though, right off the top that I prefer Axiom Verge 1 to Axiom Verge 2, and it's not because of the ambition in Axiom Verge 2 or the cool locations that we go to or the great kind of power-up ramping that Thomas Happ has put into the gameplay, because you do get incredible abilities and it is super mysterious and you are interested in the different people that you encounter and the computer screens that you interact with and these ancient, objects that you come across and these devastated tanks and other objects and all of these funky robotic enemies that you encounter along the way. Also some biological enemies that you encounter along the way. My main concern with Axiom Verge 2, and I might as well get this out of the way, is that so much of the conflict in the game is meant to be sort of up close and personal. It's an emphasis on melee type combat. You play as a couple of different characters. You play as a woman named Indra who travels to Antarctica, and you encounter kind of the ruins and the echoes of a mysterious new world that you start to explore. And along the way, you also accumulate the power to send out a little drone that you also can control, and you can actually flip between Indra and the little drone, and the drone picks up all kinds of mechanics. But Indra has a pickaxe that she does most of her combat with. There's other abilities as well. And the little drone has like a glaive on a yo-yo string. And the little drone has to do quite a bit of stuff in the game. It's a little bit like the Morph Ball in the Metroid series, but there's new abilities like Spider-Man grapples and things like that. You also get some new traversal elements as you progress, for both characters. And it's an interesting kind of reliance on both characters that I actually really like, but I just did not find the combat satisfying. I felt like there was a lot of cheap deaths in the game. I felt like the drone was incredibly wimpy, and I was constantly coming up against tougher enemies that were taking me out with a couple of swipes. I would get knocked out by steam, and then I'd have to travel back to a save point and make my way all the way along. And so that wasn't a satisfying loop, even as I spent the skill points to become more powerful. But I also found that it was just a lot of going crisscross around the whole map, looking for the one little area that the new power-up or the new ability would allow me to enter. And that can be a big pain in the ass in a lot of Metroidvania-type experiences. But I don't know, this one just felt a little bit frustrating. Obviously, as you progress deeper into the game, you're going to find some new ways to traverse quicker around the map, and new areas keep opening up for you. And as you get past the 10-12 hour mark, things become a lot more interesting in this game for sure. But I did encounter a lot more frustration. Coupled with that is there's this beautiful artistry, lots of great, scrolling backgrounds and lots of incredible little details everywhere, and this really cool new music score that's out there, which has kind of, Middle Eastern type flavors. It honestly reminded me a little bit of what Bear McCreary did with the Battlestar Galactica soundtrack, and I don't know if that was an influence or not for Thomas, but there were times when I was getting frustrated with the game and the music was blaring at me, and the female vocalist was just singing out her lines. Kind of chant-like, and it was just grating on me. I think that there is, fantastic bones here. There's a lot of great rewards if you stick with it for sure. I love that this is an enhancement of the Axiom Verge lore in general. I do want Thomas Happ to continue with these games. I can't deny that I came away underwhelmed with this game. I didn't hate it. I think what happened is my expectations were up here, and the game is about here, and I think mileage is going to vary with this one as well. If you are just hardcore, die-in-the-wool, just love Axiom Verge, you're going to want more of this mythology and more of this world building, and this game definitely supplies that. But yeah, I had a lot of reservations. I'm going to give Axiom Verge 2 a 7 out of 10.